There's one question the entire world can't stop asking. Why does Frédéric Arnault, the young CEO and heir to the LVMH empire, admire Blackpink's Lisa so much? Is it love, admiration, or something far bigger than anyone imagined? Before we uncover the truth, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and tell us in the comments, do you think their relationship is purely professional, or is there something more? Because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see Lisa and Frédéric Arnault forever. It all began with a single moment that seemed ordinary, but became extraordinary. Paris, 2022. Lisa stepped onto the runway at Celine's men's summer show. Among the crowd of celebrities and fashion royalty stood a young man watching her every move, Frédéric Arnault, the heir to one of the most powerful dynasties in luxury. The cameras caught it. That look. That moment. And from that day on, the internet couldn't stop talking. But why Lisa? Out of all the stars in the world, why her? Lisa Manobal, born in Buram, Thailand, rose from a small-town dreamer to a global icon. She's not just a K-pop idol, she's a symbol of independence, creativity, and influence. And Frédéric Arnault, son of Bernard Arnault, the billionaire behind Louis Vuitton and Dior, grew up surrounded by elegance, precision, and power. Yet, despite his status, he's known for being thoughtful, humble, and visionary. Two completely different worlds, music and luxury, collided, and that collision sparked a story the world is still obsessed with. Soon after, the two began appearing in the same cities, Paris, Bangkok, Seoul. From fashion events to private dinners, the pattern was impossible to ignore. Every move Lisa made in the fashion world seemed to echo with Frédéric's influence. Was it coincidence? Or a carefully crafted connection between two global forces? Industry insiders started calling it the perfect alignment, a strategic and emotional partnership between culture and commerce. Lisa, with her unmatched influence in Asia, opened doors for LVMH brands in markets no one had ever touched. Frédéric, with his sharp business sense, saw in Lisa more than a brand ambassador. He saw the embodiment of what modern luxury truly means, authenticity meeting aspiration. But there was something deeper, something human. Observers couldn't help but notice the way Frédéric looked at her, the small smiles, the quiet gestures, the moments that seemed unscripted. Fans gave them a nickname, Lisa Arnault. A global trend was born, and here's what most people don't know: Frédéric wasn't just fascinated by her fame. He was inspired by her strength. Lisa had fought her way through an industry known for perfectionism and pressure. She never relied on scandal, never lost her composure. She was authentic, resilient, and laser-focused. And for a man raised in the world of power and polish, that kind of raw determination was magnetic. Then came the night that changed everything. The Vogue Paris Gala. As lights dimmed, cameras caught Frédéric leaning in, laughing softly with Lisa. She gently touched his shoulder. A fleeting moment, but enough to send the internet into chaos. Fans analyzed every frame. Was it friendship, or the beginning of something real? A few days later, Frédéric was seen wearing a rare edition watch, the same model Lisa wore in a campaign. Coincidence? The internet didn't think so. Then, in one of the most talked about events of her career, Lisa performed at Crazy Horse Paris, a bold, artistic show that shocked the entertainment world. While critics debated, one person stood quietly behind her, offering support: Frédéric Arnault. He was there, not for the headlines, but to ensure Lisa's artistry was respected. To protect her from being reduced to controversy. That moment told fans everything they needed to know, that whatever connected them went beyond business. After that, Lisa began taking bold steps, working on her own music, launching her brand, exploring creative freedom. And who was the first to publicly praise her independence? Frédéric. In an interview, he said, "I admire people who dare to take their own path. Lisa is one of them." Just one sentence, but it echoed around the world. Now, every time they appear in the same place, be it a gala, a show, or a quiet dinner, the world holds its breath. They never confirm. They never deny. They simply exist in that space of mutual respect and quiet understanding. And maybe that's what makes their connection so powerful. It's not built on noise, or publicity, or scandal, but on something real. Lisa doesn't need validation, Frédéric doesn't need attention, but together, they radiate a kind of energy that no one can ignore. And just when people thought the story had ended, new whispers began to spread: a rumored collaboration between LVMH and Lisa for 2026. A global project combining fashion, music, and technology. If true, this wouldn't just be another campaign, it would mark the birth of a new cultural era led by two of the most influential figures of this generation. When asked about Lisa during a press interview, Frédéric smiled and simply said, "She inspires me to see the world differently." Just 6 words, but they carried the weight of 1,000 stories. Maybe that's the real reason Frédéric Arnault admires Lisa so deeply, not because of her beauty, or fame, or power, but because she represents something money can't buy: authenticity, grace, and fearless independence. So now the question is yours. Do you think their connection is romantic, or just the perfect meeting of two brilliant souls? Share your thoughts below. Hit like if you believe Lisa and Frédéric are the ultimate power duo, and make sure to subscribe for more updates on this story that keeps evolving before our eyes. Because one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. The world hasn't seen the last of Lisa and Frédéric Arnault. And just when people thought everything between Lisa and Frédéric had settled into mystery, new signs began to surface, small, subtle, but impossible to ignore. In early 2025, whispers began circulating in both the Kpop and luxury fashion industries. Lisa was reportedly spending more time in Europe, particularly in Paris, often seen visiting the headquarters of TAG Heuer, the luxury watch brand under LVMH, where Frédéric serves as CEO. Some fans dismissed it as coincidence, but others began connecting the dots. Lisa's visits often aligned perfectly with important internal events or launches within LVMH. Coincidence? Or connection? Then, an image surfaced. A grainy paparazzi photo, taken at night near the River Seine. 2 silhouettes walking side by side, the city lights reflecting off the water. One wore a dark trench coat, the other, a familiar beanie and scarf combo fans immediately recognized from Lisa's past airport appearances. No names were mentioned in the article, but the internet didn't need them. Within hours, Lisa in Paris trended worldwide, and while neither side confirmed nor denied the rumors, their actions spoke louder than words. Lisa posted a photo on Instagram a few days later, a close-up shot of a glass of red wine and a blurred cityscape in the background. The caption? A simple heart emoji and the word Paris. At the same time, Frédéric uploaded a story showing a similar view from a different angle, captioned "A perfect evening." Fans noticed the matching lights in both photos. The same skyline. The same mood. And once again, the internet exploded. But beyond the online frenzy, industry experts began to see something else, a quiet transformation in both of them. Lisa, once known as the vibrant dancer of Blackpink, was now evolving into a sophisticated global creative. Her style became more refined, her interviews more thoughtful, her artistic choices more daring, and Frédéric? He seemed more expressive, more open. In several business interviews, he began talking about creativity, freedom, and individuality, words that perfectly described Lisa's essence. In one particular conference, when asked what drives his innovation at TAG Heuer, Frédéric smiled slightly and said, "Inspiration often comes from people who live with rhythm and passion. Someone once told me that perfection isn't about control, it's about expression." He didn't mention a name. He didn't need to. Fans already knew who that someone was. Then came the moment no one expected, Lisa's surprise appearance at the 2025 Met Gala. Her gown, a breathtaking blend of high couture and street-inspired modernity, was co-designed by an unnamed creative consultant from within LVMH. The internet went wild, claiming the mystery designer could be none other than Frédéric himself. While no official confirmation ever came, multiple sources hinted that he had personally overseen aspects of the collaboration, but perhaps the most striking part wasn't the dress, it was the way Lisa carried herself. Elegant, confident, and completely at ease. The flashbulbs lit her like a goddess, and as she turned to wave at the cameras, fans noticed something small yet telling, a TAG Heuer watch sparkling beneath her diamond bracelet. A subtle nod? Maybe. But for those who had followed their story, it felt like a message. After the event, Frédéric was asked by a French journalist about Lisa's appearance. He smiled, paused for a moment, and said, "Lisa represents the kind of evolution the world needs, timeless yet daring. She inspires everyone around her, including me." That quote alone set social media ablaze. Fans clipped it, remixed it, and shared it with the caption "He said it." But while the world was busy dissecting their every move, the two of them seemed to grow quieter. No public outings, no new rumors, just silence. Some thought the story was finally over. But that silence only made people more curious, because silence, in the world of the powerful, is never empty. It's strategic. And then, without warning, Lisa launched a new campaign, LLOUD Studio Paris. It wasn't just a brand, it was a statement. A creative house focused on art, music, and design, bridging East and West, blending cultural identities into one vision. Guess who was seen at the private launch dinner? None other than Frédéric Arnault. Seated quietly at the back, applauding with a proud smile as Lisa took the stage to thank her supporters, witnesses described the moment as undeniably intimate. Lisa, during her speech, mentioned someone who believed in her when she dared to create differently. Again, no name. But the camera caught her glance toward Frédéric's table, just long enough to make hearts skip a beat. At that moment, it became clear, whether romantic or platonic, their bond was built on something deeper than surface-level attraction. It was a partnership of minds, ambition, and mutual respect. Two individuals, each standing at the top of their fields, quietly influencing one another in ways the public could only guess. Today, fans continue to speculate. Every new interview, every brand move, every subtle post becomes a clue in this modern fairy tale. Are they partners in business? Lovers in disguise? Or simply two people whose paths were destined to intertwine at the intersection of luxury and art? No one knows for sure. But what's undeniable is this: Lisa and Frédéric have rewritten the way people view power, influence, and connection. They've shown that chemistry doesn't need public confirmation, it just needs presence, and maybe that's why their story feels so magnetic. Because behind the glamour and mystery, it's ultimately about two souls chasing excellence, together, even in silence. So what do you think? Is this just another chapter in a strategic alliance, or the quiet evolution of something truly rare? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and stay tuned, because the story of Lisa and Frédéric Arnault is still unfolding. Weeks passed, and yet the tension surrounding Lisa and Frédéric only grew stronger. Every small interaction seemed to carry meaning, every public silence felt deliberate. Then came the shock: Lisa was announced as a special creative partner for a secret LVMH initiative scheduled to launch later that year. No one knew the details, but insiders whispered it would merge fashion, digital art, and music into one groundbreaking experience. And at the center of it all, Lisa and Frédéric. Behind the scenes, several Paris insiders reported seeing them working late at the LVMH headquarters, walking through design floors, sharing quiet discussions over sketches and prototypes. One stylist described their chemistry as professional, but impossible to ignore. They weren't flirting, they were building something. Something that looked like the future. As global headlines speculated wildly, Lisa seemed calm, almost serene. During a Vogue interview, when asked about her connection to Frédéric, she smiled softly and said, "He's someone who understands art beyond luxury. He sees it as emotion." That single line went viral. Within hours, millions of fans were dissecting every word. Frédéric, on the other hand, maintained his signature composure. But during a luxury forum in Geneva, he spoke about the evolution of artistry in fashion and added, "True collaboration isn't built on contracts. It's built on trust and shared vision." Those who listened closely knew exactly who he meant. By late 2025, rumors intensified. Lisa was spotted in Switzerland, not for a concert, but for a private LVMH event. Security was tight, and the guest list, top secret. Yet, someone leaked a single blurry photo: Lisa and Frédéric, standing beside a futuristic display featuring a fusion of sound and design. The caption read, "Project ÉCLAT, coming soon." Fans erupted. Was this the long-awaited partnership? Or something even bigger? One thing was clear: whatever Lisa and Frédéric were planning was not just another campaign. It was a statement. A merging of art, passion, and purpose, and maybe that's the real magic between them. It's not just about affection or attraction, it's about legacy. Two icons from different worlds, rewriting what it means to inspire each other, quietly shaping the next chapter of culture itself. Their story isn't ending. It's evolving, just like them. As the year drew to a close, anticipation reached its peak. Project ÉCLAT became the most talked about mystery in both the fashion and entertainment industries. Every teaser, every leaked photo, every whispered rumor pointed to something revolutionary, something that could redefine how art and luxury collide. And in the middle of it all, Lisa and Frédéric stood like silent architects of a new era. When the project was finally unveiled in Paris, the world watched in awe. A breathtaking exhibition filled with holographic visuals, rhythmic soundscapes, and handcrafted pieces that blended modern technology with classic artistry. The final segment revealed a digital short film, Lisa moving through surreal dreamscapes, wearing designs symbolizing transformation. The closing credit? Concept and direction, Lisa Manobal, in collaboration with Frédéric Arnault. The audience erupted. Cameras flashed, social media exploded, and within minutes, #Lisa Arnault project trended worldwide. But while the crowd celebrated the artistry, some couldn't help noticing the way Frédéric looked at her, proud, soft, as if the entire room disappeared. Later, backstage, witnesses said Lisa thanked him quietly, her voice barely audible over the chaos. "We did it," she said, smiling. Frédéric replied, "No, you did it." It wasn't a confession. It wasn't even a hint. Yet in that exchange, there was something unmistakably human, a connection beyond fame, beyond business. The night ended with Paris glittering beneath the winter sky, and the world realized something profound. Lisa and Frédéric weren't just rewriting headlines, they were redefining modern power, not through noise, but through creation. And as the lights dimmed, one truth remained: whatever comes next between them will be worth watching.